Large language models and generative AI has become so much popular that everyone is talking about them, but not everyone is using them. The reason is that the memory requirements and computational needs are so high that not everyone can run them locally or even in the cloud, and that makes it very less accessible for average users across the globe. Even the small to medium sized businesses are very reluctant to have their own LLMs, and I'm talking about the open source ones such as Llama, Camel 2, Mistral. It's very hard for them to download them and run them on their own servers because the cost is very high, and then it is not really sustainable to run them for a prolonged period of time if you are using a public cloud. This is where Intel has come up with this new Intel Developer Cloud. Intel Developer Cloud, which also comes with one API toolkit, provides a robust platform for AI model development, testing, and deployment, and that harnesses Intel's advanced hardware and software for optimized AI performance. So all you need to do in order to use this Intel Developer Cloud is to go to their website, and I'll drop the link in video's description. From there, you need to sign up with your email and then either select one of these. For example, I have selected this Developer Zone Standard, which is a free account, and with my own personal email. If you want to create an account with your business email, then you can go with the Developer Zone Premier, which gives you access to a lot of other things. But even if you look at this Developer Zone Standard with my non-business account, you can see that I still would have access to this Intel Developer Cloud, which I'm most interested with. And then there are other bells and whistles too. Once you sign up for it, this is an instant approval and you can straight away log in after verifying your email. But for the second one, the premier one, you would have to wait for few days, but that gets approved fairly quickly, as I have heard. Now, once you sign in, you are presented with this screen, and this screen is basically the Intel Developer Cloud. Now, you can try and downloading and running some of the latest Gen AI models on Intel's latest GPU from the Intel's Data Center GPU Max series. And these models include Stable Diffusion from Stability AI, as well as LLMs like Camel 5 billion and OpenLlama 3 billion, and the list will keep going on. There are a lot of benefits to this Intel Developer Cloud, and I'll tell you as we go. So, in order to get started, after you have logged in, you can visit this home screen, and this is where you can do a lot of things. For example, you can check your hardware and software catalogs, you can attempt a lot of training and workshops, which is quite good, and you can even get some of the cloud credits. Also, they have there are wealth of tutorials and getting started. For example, if you go to the tutorials, these are few of them which I have just seen. Especially this Jupyter notebook training sounds very promising to me, and then you can also see some of the videos for the step-by-step guides. And this is a Jupyter notebook. As this tutorial shows you how you can do it, you can simply go to training and workshop, and from there you can select a Jupyter notebook you want to explore, and I'll show you shortly. Let's go back to our Intel Developer Cloud Console. Now on the left hand side is the menu. For example, if I click on this hardware catalog, you can see that we have available 4th generation Intel Xeon Scalable processor, 5th generation, and also we have Max series GPU. And this is the one which I believe mostly people will be using for their large language models. You can select it from here, and then you can filter it down with a lot of stuff. And then we have this compute console where you can launch your own not virtual machine or instance with lot of specs, and I'll show you. So there is a US region 1 and 2, no other region available at the moment. So click on launch instance, and from here you are going to select whatever instance you want, and then this is instance type, and you can see the cost readily. It is around 4, just over 4 US dollar per hour. Then this is the machine image we are going to use. It is the Ubuntu one, and then you can just say um, instance name and public keys, and I'll show you that this is where you can create your public keys. And one interesting thing is that it doesn't give me any option to you create the keys from here. I think I would just need to create my own. And if you don't know how to do it, you can use a tool like PuttyGen in Windows, or in Linux simply ssh-keys command to generate your public private key pair, and then upload it from here, something like this, where you can just give your key name, and then you just paste the content of your public key here. And this is a tutorial. For example, this is good. For example, for Windows, they are asking that just create this directory ssh-keygen command, or you can use PuttyGen for ease of use. And then similarly, they have given the Linux examples too. So once you have key, you can attach it to that instance and start running it there. And then this is where you will have your instance group, just to group them together, maybe for just some of the models and stuff. And then I already have showed you this. These are the training and workshop which I showed you earlier. And this is where you can have software catalog, which is not available at the moment, as you can see from here. So if you look at this training and workshop, you can just simply launch the Jupyter Lab from here, or you can directly launch a notebook from here. So if you browse through it, there are a lot of things. For example, you can do LLM fine tuning with QLoRa by using notebook, or you can simply do text to image with stable diffusion by using this one, and then same image to image, RAG with LangChain, playing with language models. And let's maybe go with this one. Let's click on launch. Let's wait for it to come back. So while I was launching it, it says that there was an upstream error, and it says that try again or check the community for hint. So I'll just leave it. I'm just going to check if maybe optimize code generation. Maybe I'll just check this one if this works or not. Hopefully, I think this is working this time, because it has taken me to another screen. So it is saying that your server is starting up. That's cool. And there's also an event log if you want to check. Let's wait for it to come back. There you go. So it's a very familiar Jupyter Notebook, which you can find in Google Colab, or even in AWS SageMaker Notebook. It's the same thing. And then you can simply run from here if you want. This is good. And there's a lot of code there which you can run, and I'm not going to run it at the moment because I'm just showing you as how you can do it from here. Now let's go back to here, and maybe I'll just close that one. And then there are a lot of other notebooks which you can use. For example, LLM fine tuning with QLoRa. This seems very interesting. And then this is our home page. So that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on Intel Cloud, especially from the Gen A perspective, and about the cost too. Cost looks okay to me, not that cheap, but still okay. And under $5 per hour US, I think similar to what we are paying in AWS, I guess, because in AWS when I use G4DN 2x large instance, it is somewhat around that cost figure, maybe a bit less, but need to double check. Also depends on the region in AWS. But anyway, so far so good. Looks good to me, and it's always good to have more options and more choices. Let me know your thoughts on this Intel Developer Cloud, and if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.